Okay guys, so position 1 should be mastered and practiced, and you should have learned all the licks and given them a go and tried to make it into some kind of a riff or solo, and now we're ready to move on to position 2. What I want you to do, once we've got this scale memorised and I show you how to play it, I want you to use the little activities to practice it as we did for position 1. Yeah, so check back to your minor pentatonic practice activities video and use the same little patterns that we use there. A big tip before I move on any further: once we've got the scales down, we feel comfortable soloing a little bit. A lot of people tend to use backing tracks, which are great. Like, you can have the chords down, you know what key it's in, you can play over them. I always recommend that you try and play over actual songs, because when you're soloing, you kind of have to have something referenced to go with, which is normally the singer. So when the singer sings their melody, when you're soloing, you're trying to like harmonise with the singer or copy their melody to make the song, because you're following this song, and if the melody goes a certain way, you want your solos to sound the same. Also, when you're playing against actual songs, you can pick up like different licks and riffs that the lead guitarist is already playing. You don't get that in backing tracks. You just kind of get like a blank slate which you have to put your own creativity on. And guitar isn't really about that. It is about being creative, but you need something there to start with. You don't just come up with these amazing licks out of nothing. You kind of build up a massive vocabulary of licks of different guitarists, different genres, and by mixing them together and changing them a little bit, you kind of create your own style, which is my big tip for when you want to start soloing and soloing well, is to play over actual tracks and try and copy what the lead guitarist is doing and change it a bit. Use the singer to play along and create your melody with what the singer's doing. And that should help your load when you start soloing, especially if you get into a band, which hopefully you will do at one point, and then hopefully I'll see you on the telly rocking out. And cool. So right, what we'll do is I'll go to a close-up, I'll show you this scale, and go away, practice it, how we practice position 1, and then in the next video I'll show you some licks which you can throw into your playing. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you the second position now. We're going to start with our second finger on the A fret of the E string. Then my pinky is going to go on the 10th fret of the E string, and our first finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the A string. Our pinky is going to go on the 10th fret of the A string. Jump down a string, we're going to go first finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Pinky is going to go on the 10th fret of the D string. Then we're going to go jump down a string, 7th fret of the G string with our first finger, then 9th fret of the G string with our third finger. When we jump down again, we're going to go 8th fret of the B string with our second finger. Then we're going to go 10th fret of the B string with our pinky, and 8th fret of the little E string with our second finger, and 10th fret of the little E string with our pinky. Then we work back up. Yeah, this one sounds a bit weird because we're not starting or finishing on the root note, so if you wanted, you could start on that note. And it'll sound more resolved. When you're soloing, you won't need to worry about that too much. Just remember where your A notes are and then you can land on them whenever you want. What I want you to think about when you're playing this scale is, again, make sure once you play, for example, that note with your second finger, that stays on, and you play pinky, jump down a string, the first finger stays on. Yeah. Also, I want you to start to practice it. Once you've mastered it like that, I want you on the bottom 2 strings again. I want you to use your first and third fingers. Yeah. So it's going to look like this. So exactly the same up there. I want you to use your first finger on the 8th fret of the B, third finger on the 10th fret of the B, first finger on the 8th fret of the E, third finger on the 10th fret. This is again because these are your bends. Yeah, and you don't bend with your pinky because that wouldn't make much sense, yeah? Right, so if you get that scale down, go on to the next lesson. I'll teach you some licks. Remember to practice it, 2 picks on each note, 3 picks, 4 picks, random notes at a time. That's really important. And then I want you to practice your 3 forward, 1 back, 3, yeah, and all that kind of thing. And once you've mastered this scale, then I want you to move on to position number 3.